Hey, it's Patrick from the Rendezvous Point, and last night I had the privilege of attending an official launch party for the Reebok Floatride Run Fast Pro. Now, this shoe is pretty amazing. It's not even out yet, at least for retail sale. But this is the new racing flat from the folks at Reebok, and these were provided to me by a friend who is working in the events and sponsorships department of Reebok Canada. So I'm grateful to you. Thank you, Marta. And these are just incredible. I've had these shoes for a little over a week now, but last night had the opportunity to go down to Bond Running in Toronto on Spadina Avenue. If you haven't checked it out, great vibe, cafe, spot, also a running community and retail store. So there were I'm going to say about 30 of us that collected at Bond Running by special invitation to try out the Floatride Run Fast Pro. We went for a group run, headed over to the track at Central Tech Collegiate, and did just sort of a mini workout to put the shoe through its paces, and then had a panel discussion with Stephen from Bond Running, with Dan Way from Canadian Running, and then with Don McNeil, who is with Reebok Canada. And it was just a really insightful look, not just at the technical aspects of the shoe, but sort of where running is going in Canada, what's happening, what the future trends are, and just sort of how this fits into the milieu of the running community in 2018. Anyway, just a quick word about these shoes, because the first thing that I noticed and I knew was going to be a sell feature about this shoe was how light it was. It really weighs in at about 100 grams. And just for comparison, 100 grams is almost a third of the weight of a can of chicken noodle soup. Or depending on how you think about this, it is the same as 3 wagon wheels. So that's the weight of the shoe. These are about half the weight of any racing flat that I currently have in my rotation. It's got a single mesh upper, so really light, really airy. Lots of perforation in the mesh, as you can see, the perforated holes. A single layer, very thin but suede, comfortable tongue, and about a 3 millimeter drop. So it's a low drop shoe designed to be really for people who are going to be running faster, landing more on their forefoot. Its midsole is a Floatride foam. I think it's called P-Max, and it is just super responsive, very well cushioned without feeling mushy. And when you take this out, it just feels so comfortable underfoot, springy, sort of returns the energy. So it's a great design shoe for being a racing flat. You can see the outsole has these individually injected lugs, and I think there's something like 392 thereabouts lugs, and so it actually increases the work that it takes to put this together, because it's not just slapping a piece of rubber, but the rubber is what often contributes to a great deal of the weight in the shoe. So there's incredible traction with these individually injected lugs. The shoe, when I put it on, felt a bit narrow. Now, it's a racing flat. It kind of has the feel of almost like a track spike when you kind of lace this up. It's tight. Now, it wasn't super constrictive, but I could feel it, just sort of snug on my pinky toes. But went out on the track, and I've run a 10K tempo run in these, the shoe disappears. Like, you don't think about it just, kind of binding your foot or anything. It just goes with you. So this is amazing. Kudos to Reebok. The colors are, just very simple but elegant. The design works. There's just a few sort of overlays printed, as well as the logo on there. But there's not a lot to the shoe. Basically, not anything on the shoe that you don't want in a racing flat. It'd be a really good question as to how far I would take this in terms of trying to race on it. I know the Reebok Zap Fitness guys performed super well in the Boston Marathon this year in crazy rainy, windy conditions. So obviously they do hold up under the marathon. I may or may not give them a try in the marathon. Certainly would take them out in a 5K, 10K. Just feel like they would just blast me along. And quite potentially in the half marathon. So anyway, check these out. Now they're a bit pricey. They're going to retail, I think, in the ballpark of $300 Canadian. So you know what? But you're getting an incredibly technical shoe that is not meant for everyday wear. It's the kind of thing that you pull out, you know, in case of PB emergency. You want to go out and hit your times and log you know, a new personal best or a new course record. So the Reebok Floatride Run Fast Pro released July 1st here in Canada. Hope you get a chance to check it out. And if you want to read up more on my shoe reviews and thoughts on racing and running, check out my blog at rendezvous.blogspot.com. Thanks for watching.